wow, I'm the fucking champion. Like, it's fucking crazy. And yeah, it's just, I mean, I've just been on the grind for so many years now. My dad dropped me off 19 years ago in Colorado. I knew nobody to wrestle, and yeah, to see where I'm at now is just absolutely incredible. I mean, there's really no way to explain how or why, or like why I deserve it, or I mean, I worked my ass off. I have made mistakes. I've done things the wrong way, but I've always corrected and got back on the path. And I think the coaches, the mentors, but mostly the coaches that I've been, and the team that I have around me is a huge reason why I was able to stay on track and just keep moving forward and keep trusting that. Truth of the matter is psychologically I was not there. I was not prepared mentally for the fight when I fought Max Holloway. It was such a different circumstance. It was, a guy that wasn't in my weight class. It was a guy that I'd never thought about fighting. It was for fun, and the whole experience was so different than any other fight I've ever had when it comes to like being mentally prepared for a fight.
What do you attribute that to? Like, what was
myself, my
and us, we told him to take the fight. He didn't want to take the fight, and then we told him that you're going to keep the title contention fight because that's what they promised us. That's why he was very.
Well, every one of you was like, "Oh, something was different." It was like, "Well, why didn't you guys fucking say something before the fight?"
You told me afterwards.
Tell me after the fight.
Dude,
like I knew something was different, but like I needed to know.
He tells me
you guys
afterwards,
to tell me.
He's like this. He's like, I just didn't respect him. And I'm like, how could you not respect Max? And I didn't catch on to it. So it's like, I'm always looking for flags and things like that. And 100%, I take 100% responsibility because that's how we learn. Everybody makes mistakes. I remember the Tony Ferguson fight. I didn't give any fucking water. Like there's like things that we all learn from. But the thing when he had told me that, I'm like, how did I not catch that? From you, because he's like, dude, he was a smaller guy, just didn't, and I was like, dude, Max is like one of the guys that I look up to from the outside. Like he is talented.
I remember thinking, what am I looking for? Like, what am I afraid of? I kept trying to convince myself that I needed to find what I was to be worried about, and I couldn't find it.
So you always need that before a fight?
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter who it is, you're fighting.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and so like I've never been as present and like I've never been able to retain a fight, and I before the knockout I was there, like I was in the arena. I saw the lights, I saw the people, I heard the people. Like I've never been there in my life, and I think that I can attribute that to me not being scared, and so me not being in a real fight or flight.
Real life or death situation.
Yeah,
so
situation.
You weren't fully focused. You could actually hear the crowd.
Yeah, I could hear my thoughts. I had thoughts. I've never had thoughts in a fight because I'm so intuitive and reactionary. And that one was just so different. There was so much. And so, sure, the kicks, the eye pokes. No, I think I couldn't have beat him that night with the mentality that I had. And that was my last lesson to learn. I had made my lessons with Oliveira was like I wanted it so much. I wanted it so bad, and I wanted to perform, and I wanted to impress my fans. Rose had a fight that night, and she fought like absolute garbage. And I told my coach, I was like, Coach, don't worry, I won't do that to you.
He said right before we're about to walk.
Right before we're about to walk, I was like, don't worry, Coach, I will never let you down like that. And Coach is pissed, and everyone's, the locker room's all fucked up because Pat's fucking weird.
Is that the Carlos Esparza fight? Was that the same night?
Yeah. And I was at home, and so there was just, and that was my fault. I allowed those things to affect me.
Right.
And to, affect my fighting decisions rather than just being myself. And so that was a huge mistake. Another mistake was... winning 2 or 3 times in a row and just kind of becoming complacent with how serious what we do is and how dangerous this game is and how much luck and chance are a factor every single night. And so, I wasn't doing the extra credit. I wasn't sitting in the sauna at home, and I don't know why. It's just, and then I made that mistake probably into the Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier fights, lost, and then I won 3 or 4 in a row, and then I completely went back to the same mindset of I'm the best in the world. Nobody can beat me. and I paid for it. And those 2 mistakes were huge, very, very big learning lessons. And then the Charles Oliveira fight, I was like, I wanted it so bad, and then I made the moment so much bigger than it actually was, because it's just 25 minutes in time, and it's all I can control is being perfect, my preparation for it, but then ultimately being there for 25 minutes and being perfect. And yeah, those are the mistakes that I made. I had to learn. I had to make those mistakes. I've made mistakes. I was never thank God I was never an alcoholic, but I could say I was probably a drug addict at one time in my life. And
what drugs?
I don't know. I have never told my parents about this, so I don't know.
You don't have to.
All of them. But it's and I know this is gonna sound stupid, but so I went to school for human services. I wanted to help people. A big part of that is helping people come off drugs, and I lost over a handful of friends, really close friends from drugs. Where I come from, we're not far from Mexico, and we had the best. We had the best shit coming right across the border before it ever got cut up. And it was my life, where I'm from is very boring. And so like you chase, again, we have it so good in this country. We're always trying to create chaos in order to feel something. And I guess that's what I was probably doing. And in college is when I really, I was like, if I'm going to help people come off of drugs, then how can I ever even try to understand if I don't know what they're chasing? And so that was a part of it. And also a part was it felt good, And so, once I did certain things, I knew what people were chasing. But then I always knew that something was bigger for me and better for me, and I had something to do. And so that was always, it was never a crutch for me. I was always like, that was awesome. I'm not doing it again.
What is it in your head that where you always knew that you had something bigger?
Well, probably my faith. I mean, I've been, my parents, the best thing they ever did for me was make me go to church every single Sunday and create a relationship with God through the word of Jesus Christ, and just trying to live up to those expectations. I knew, not that I was going to be a champion or anything. I just knew that I couldn't take the easy way out. When you're on drugs or when you're living a lifestyle like that, then nobody expects anything from you. Nobody wants anything from you, and that's an easy way to live.
Right.
There's no pressure.
No expectations.
No expectations, no pressure. And I mean, it really is, I can understand how you can let that overcome the passion to live, and I don't know. I just think the passion to live because of my faith has never outweighed.
It's definitely there was a shift, and it wasn't just like an instant shift. It was the 2 losses in a row with Eddie and Poirier, where he's like, I'm winning these fights and I need to be able to get to the distance. And I was like, all right, we got to become a spot fighter because you just drown people. And what's happening is you're making mistakes. We threw a low kick against Poirier. He got caught because he based back lazy with his shoulders above his hips. So I was like, all right, let's be sharp. Let's fight in spots. Then he goes on a 3-fight win streak where he's finding the right spots and putting people out from Vic to Barbosa into Cowboy Cerrone. And that's where he's like, and then I sat down with him and I was like, do you want to be a champion? And I was like, this is how you have to fight to be a champion, is be smart. And he never said he didn't want to be the most exciting fighter anymore. He would tell me after fights, he's like, I'm not even trying to fight excited, but look at me. And it's it's so amazing. Like, it's in him. It's just, how do we get you to sprint 50 yards, pull back for 100 yards and jog, and then sprint for 50 yards and like be able to know your red line. Don't cross over that red line. Don't hold red line.